Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all of your might. Ecclesiastes 9:10. It continues, for in the realm of the dead where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. But of course, we don't include that part because this is not a book where the bears go to the land of the dead. It's just, because it's, here's the theme song. Welcome back to Deep in Bear Country, a Berenstain Bearcast. I am your host, Phil Gonzalez, and this week we are tickety-talkin'. We're taking a look at a book we already took a look at. I didn't know until going in that this was a book we've already covered, kind of. It's a retelling. We've done this book already. This is just a shorter version of it, so we're not going to be here for very long. This is me looking at my fake watch. We're not going to be here for very long today because we've already covered this book to the extent that this is another one of those, this seems really familiar, but shamefully, because I am nothing if not filled with shame, this was a book we covered not terribly long ago. We covered this book in October of 2021. It was episode 312. So I guess it was well over 100 episodes ago. So forgive me for not remembering it. And it was like smack dab in the middle of like COVID mania. But I didn't remember. Until I got like to a certain point in this book and I was like, I swear I've done this story. And I think one of the reasons it was hard for me to recall having done this story already was the fact that it's so close to the original. The images are the same. Much of the text is unchanged. A lot of it's just shortened and simplified because this is, yes, a Living Lights book. Well, I'll just tell you about it. This is the book. The Berenstain Bears Get the Job Done, credited to Jan and Mike Berenstain. This is a Zonder Kids Level 1 I Can Read book. It's a Living Lights faith story. And if you can see the cover, if you look at the cover and you think to yourself, this does look familiar, Phil, that is because you have seen this book before. The book is, of course, a retelling of the Berenstain Bears and a job well done, and which is the one where the kids have to clean their clubhouse. The Cubs have to clean clubs. The Cubs have to clean the clubhouse, and they can't for two major reasons. And what are those two major reasons, and what do they have to do with religion, and what do they have to do with going to the land of the dead? Not much, and nothing at all. Yes, that's right. This is a book that is barely about religion. It's not about religion or faith at all. It takes one little quote from the Bible, and it's basically extends it into an ongoing metaphor for this. The point of this book being just don't slack off. Just clean up your house. Do what your parents say is basically the theme of this book. It's ostensibly about taking pride in your work, but not really. The Bible does say in Ecclesiastes, this book, by the way, is all about Ecclesiastes. I think because Ecclesiastes is like the only book in the Bible that really talks about going to work and doing work. And of course, the quote from the top was mostly about get your job done now because when you die, there's no jobs in the afterlife, which is funny because I'm like, good, that should be a good thing. But it's like, nah, you won't be able to do your work in the afterlife because life is toil, life is hard, life stinks, and then you die is essentially I think the point of what they're saying. So yeah, Ecclesiastes, the threads of Ecclesiastes run all through this book. But it's mostly just that. It's, if you're going to work, if you're going to do a job, do it and do it hard and work hard before you take a nap and play baseball, which is what this book's about. How the Cubs don't want to do their work. They want to play baseball, which is more fun than work. I think, kind of, if you like baseball. For me, it's a toss-up. I think I'd probably rather do my work than play baseball because I'm terrible at baseball, but I'm pretty good at work. So the Berenstain Bears get the job done. So what is this book about? If you don't want to go back and listen to my episode on A Job Well Done, which, if memory serves, was not a good episode, which, if memory serves, was kind of me at my wit's end. I could have re-listened to the episode. I could have gone back and explored what I had said about it before, but I didn't feel like I have this memory of not really being into the book that much. So who knows? The Berenstain Bears Get the Job Done. What's this book about? Well, it's springtime. That means spring cleaning time. Mama hands out chores to all the bears, mama, papa, sister, brother, and and little Honey. Honey is still a toddler in this one, a point which will come up in a bit. If we take a look, though, at the first picture, we see that the Berenstain Bears' house needs some major repair work done, especially in the banister. The banister leading up to the front door is cracked and broken. I assume Papa will be fixing that. Mama will be doing some of her stuff, and the Cubs will be doing their stuff. So Mama sets about to beat the rugs, Papa sets about to fix the railing, and the Cubs go off to clean the playhouse in their backyard. Now, you may be wondering, has anything changed at all from the original story? Absolutely not. The only thing that is really different is that the original story's images, the illustrations by Jan and Mike, have been cropped to fit the I Can Read formatting. That's it. Literally, that's it. None of the illustrations are missing from this book. Nothing has been altered except the basic formatting. A few, like the sides of a few have been cut off. There's a couple of backgrounds that have been deleted just so that they're not in the way of the text. Other than that, the illustrations are clear and crisp and here, and they're original. And Living Light Stories, from this era especially, I have always enjoyed their art style. I liked the blending of old and new. I liked the way it looked, and I still do. I still think these illustrations work. So the Cubs set off to clean the clubhouse. They get there. The flowers are singing, the birds are blooming, the garden is gardening, and Papa is working, and Mama is beating, and everything's great. And we get a nice 2-page spread of the Bears' treehouse with the Bear family working. We see some birds and butterflies in the garden. All's looking swell. The Cubs are heading off to a clubhouse, which I don't think we've ever seen before. I may have addressed this in the old episode, but I don't think we've ever seen this clubhouse. We've seen the clubhouse they have up in the tree, the one that's essentially a platform. Brother and sister divided in half at one point. But we don't spend much time looking in the backyard of the Bears, and that's where this little playhouse. It's a playhouse. So Mama's whacking at the rugs, and Papa's using his tools. He's carving a piece of wood into a new railing because he's a carpenter. We see the old railing in the background. It's just falling apart. It's time to replace it. Papa's good at his job. Mama's good at her job, beating rugs. And the Cubs get to the playhouse. And they have brooms and brushes, cloths, combs and cleams, buckets of water and soap, and they're going to sweep out that playhouse. It looks to be, so this is this is essentially a child-sized little house. This is what, I guess most likely you'd buy like a Little Tykes house like this, like a playground, play Tykes, something plastic. You'd set it up and put it in your backyard and your kids would play with it for a week and then forget about it. That's basically what this thing is, except it looks to be hand tooled by Papa. Got real life shingles on this thing. Like this is a real little wooden structure, but it is clearly too small for brother and sister. They have outgrown this. What they are doing now is they're cleaning it up. It's never stated out loud. They are cleaning this thing up for Honey Bear. This is not, the Cubs will never play in this thing. This is a toddler toy, and it's rough. It's got mud. It's got just, it needs a fresh coat of paint. It's not very pleasant looking. It doesn't honestly seem to be a very pleasant place to play in. You just know there's a wasp's nest in this thing. My father built us a playhouse when I was a kid. It was an elevated platform with just basically a roofed structure on top, and he built it in the backyard. It was pretty cool. I grew up in Texas, though, and I mean, starting in like February when it started getting really warm, as soon as winter was done, that thing just filled up with wasps. Like that was you could only play in the playhouse for this narrow band of time before it was just infested with insects. So that's what the Cubs have to face them, and that's literally the plot of this book, because they look into the clubhouse, the playhouse. I keep calling it a clubhouse, not a clubhouse. There's no club in this house. It is a playhouse. It is a house for play. Brother peeks inside and look, oh no, it is spiders. There were big, hairy spiders all over this playhouse. And I remember calling this out in the last one. These spiders are incredible. They are brown, many-legged, and they have angry faces. These are cartoon spiders to take to the bank. They look unpleased with the Bears interrupting their afternoon whatever they're doing. There's big, ugly spider webs in all corners of this place. There's spiders everywhere. Yuck, they all say. Hey, I got an idea. Let's not sweep out the inside. Let's scrub the outside. Maybe our act of scrubbing, Brother Bear says, will scare the spiders away, which I don't think that's how spiders work. I think they'll just simply be like, well, there's a lot going on outside. Just got to hunker down in here. We'll continue doing what spiders do, which is hunkering down in the dark. Now, Brother gets around to the other side of the playhouse and he finds an old baseball, a bat, and a glove behind the playhouse. And the bat is wooden and it says Berryville Slugger on it, which means that Louisville, which I believe was named for King Louis. Is that right? King Louis? Louisville, is it? I don't know. Anyway, must have been named for someone named Barry because it's Berryville in this universe. But brother finds the baseball, the bat, and the glove, and he hands them out to his siblings, and he says, let's play up some ball. Let's play some ball. He throws the ball to sister. She hits it a good one. He makes Honey the outfielder. Now, here's one thing I'm going to point out. So in this book, it says, Honey crawled to the grass and sat down. However, in the original telling of this story, in the original book, the Living Light's Faith story version of this book, it does not say that Honey crawled to the grass. It says that Honey toddled across the grass and sat down, meaning that Mike is deliberately putting Honey at two different developmental levels in these stories. And if she is capable of toddling in the original book, in this one she is only capable of crawling, that is two very large levels in a child's developmental life. So it doesn't mean anything. It just means that Honey's gone back in time developmentally, and now she is a crawler again, as opposed to a toddler. So this is crawler baby, not toddler. But in any case, the Cubs go out to play some ball, to bop the ball around. And meanwhile, Mama is beating the rug so hard. It doesn't say it in this version, but in the original version, it did say that Mama has been beating and working so hard beating the rugs that she is now covered in filth. And you can see it in the illustration still. Mama is she's wearing her vestless dress, because must be pre-vest development, or maybe she doesn't wear it for cleaning. I don't know. But she's covered in grime. Papa finishes up the railing. He stands up, takes a stretch, notices the Cubs aren't around, but he does see Honey Bear in the middle of the yard. He can't see the Cubs because he's at a position where they are behind the Bears' treehouse. So he can see Honey in the outfield, but the Cubs are obscured from his view. But he does see a baseball land near Honey. She picks it up and throws it back to someone. We don't know who, and Papa gets suspicious. He goes to investigate and sees the Cubs playing a ball and having just abandoned their cleaning supplies and a dirty clubhouse right there by them. And he gets kind of mad. He's like, hey, what are you doing? This doesn't look like spring cleaning. I think in the original book, he says something like, look, baseball's all fun for springtime, and I like a good game of baseball as well as anyone else, but you guys haven't done your blah, 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 blah. This is when he just says, like, this doesn't look like spring cleaning, which is much more intimidating. Like, if your father walks up to you angry with some preamble, like, hey, I know that you like to play some baseball, but now it's not. That's one thing. If he just comes up and he's on the attack, it is time to stop, which is what brother and sister do. They try to hide the baseball and baseball bat behind their backs. Does not work. Papa says, look, you haven't even started on anything. Look how messy this tree-plagued clubhouse is. And brothers and sister are like, look, there's spiders in there and we're scared of spiders. Now, Papa, being a smart Papa and being a compassionate bear at heart, says, okay, look, it doesn't really come off in this version, but in the original version, Papa reflects that when he was their age, he was scared of spiders, and he's still not crazy about spiders. And so he understands. He's sympathetic. He empathizes. He sympathizes. He knows spiders are scary, especially to young kids. And so he smiles, and he's like, look, I'll chase the spiders away, and then you guys can get in there and clean it. So he lifts up the playhouse, gets his broom, sweeps the spiders out. It doesn't say it in this version, but in the original, the spiders go off to like the garage or to the tool shed or something. And it says, and Mike, I assume, is the writer of this line. It feels like, maybe it's not Mike, I don't know, but it says in the original that, which is a much better place for the spiders to be, which is true. They won't be disturbed by the children won't be disturbed by them. The angry spiders go off and the Cubs go into the clubhouse, start scrubbing away. They chase the spiders away. Brother, sister, and Honey get to work. Mama shows up. And she says, Mama came to see what was going on. She saw the Cubs hard at work. The Bible says to enjoy your work, said Mama. Do you enjoy your work, Mama? Said Brother. She's like, I enjoy having clean rugs, and you'll enjoy your clean playhouse. And sister's like, we will enjoy it, but without those spiders, it was a job well done. And that's pretty much the end of the tale. There's not a whole lot to the story. It is funny, though, that it ends with the line, it was a job well done, because that's not the name of this book. The name of the book is Get the Job Done. The Job Well Done is the original book. It's also not how the original book ends. The original book ends, so this one says, without all those spiders, it was a job well done. But you see Honey making a face, because in the original version of the book, sister says, without all those spiders, and Honey says, yuck, and everyone laughs. I don't know why they cut that. That's a pretty cool at the barest minimum of definition for that term. I just like the yuck, because also they kept Honey Bear's yuck face, which is a fun face. So we have little baby Honey Bear. We have her making a yuck face. It's a delight. It's a joy. It's a dream. It's a dream come true. I don't have a whole lot to say about this book, but I do want to point out the one point that gets made in this book. So I said up top that this was mostly a book about doing what your parents tell you. Not really. It's not really about doing what your parents tell you, but I feel like the meaning of the story is sort of hidden a little bit. It's rushed through at the end. To me, the lesson of this book is what Mama says, which is they're like, do you enjoy your work, Mama? And Mama says, I enjoy it being done. Like, I enjoy having clean rugs, which to me is the point of the book, which is, and it's one of the hardest things to teach to children, which is you have to go through the labor in order to not get time off, not enjoy your day. I am firmly of the belief that human beings are allowed to enjoy themselves without having completed every single task that needs to be done. Like, enjoyment and relaxation are as important to your mental and physical and spiritual and emotional health as getting work done. Like, it is important, though, to get things that need to be done, and needing work to be done is a cause of stress for a lot of people. I know who you are. But also relaxing and enjoying yourself is important. Like having a good pickup game of baseball with your siblings. So, but Mama's point being, I don't particularly enjoy beating rugs, but I do enjoy having clean rugs. And that's a lesson to teach to children. And it's because children have a hard time seeing into the future. They have a hard time thinking that far ahead. Even at the age of, say, 13, it's hard to tell them, yes, but if you do this, it will be done. And then you can enjoy the rest of your day. Also, your room will be clean if you just spend literally 10 minutes cleaning your room. It takes 10 minutes to clean your room. You who are not listening to this episode, but if you were, you go in there, you focus for 10 minutes, you clean up it's mostly just your clothes on the floor and on the bed for some reason. Also a lot of tissues and gum wrappers. You clean those up, you're like 90% of the way there. The rest is just putting stuff back where it goes. Cleaning your room. Cleaning my room as an adult, far more complicated. Cleaning a kid's, that, in any case. And then when you're done, you have this nice clean room. I remember when I was a kid, I would pick up my room as told, and I was never good at it. I wasn't a good picker-upper. However, every once in a while, my mom would go into my bedroom and just do a thorough cleaning, right? Like a real adult, which probably took her 10 minutes. Again, wasn't a very difficult job if you just do it. I'd get home from school because she would do it while I was at school. I get home from school, my room would be immaculate. And I remember feeling how amazing that was. Like I remember just that feeling of just like, oh my gosh, I'm in a clean environment. Like everything, it just felt open. It didn't feel oppressive anymore. It seemed brighter. It seemed nicer. It was nice to have a clean space. And that's what Mom is trying to say to the kids. Like it's important to do the work so that you can enjoy what you have. And your life will be more enjoyable once like the basic work is done. Scrubbing the inside and outside of a playhouse, that is hard work. Beating rugs, that's hard work. Building a new banister, being your old one's cracked. I mean, I'm just like wrap some tape around that thing and call it a day, Papa. That's hard work. But now they have a banister they don't have to worry about. They have rugs that are clean. They have a playhouse that's fun to play in. We had our toilet was making noises. I had to go out. I had to drive to Home Depot. I had to buy replacement parts for the toilet. I had to install them. I had to curse and swear because I couldn't unscrew the thing. But when it was done, it was so nice to know I didn't have to worry about that anymore. Then I had to replace the flapper because I must have jostled something. So I replaced the flapper. And then it was nice not to have to worry about that anymore. Then I used the bathroom last night and I'm in the bathroom and it runs again by itself. So I'm going to have to go back, I guess, and fix it again because I guess I can't do anything right. That's why this is get the job done, not a job well done, Phil, because it's not well done, I guess. But at least I don't have to listen to the toilet doing its thing. And it was literally like spraying water all over this. So I can fix a toilet, is what I'm saying. Can Brother Bear? I don't know. Probably not. Can Papa? He's a carpenter, not a plumber. We never see the bears using the toilet. Maybe they do it in the woods, like the saying goes. In any case, this is the Berenstain Bears Get the Job Done. It's fun. It's cute. You can get it digitally. You can get it physically. It's a Zonder Kids I Can Read book. If you want your kids to know how to read, I guess, get it for them. If you don't have the other one, if you have a job well done, you don't really need to get this one. But if you were looking for it, the biblical stuff is barely there. It doesn't really matter. It's mostly the lesson that I was talking about, which if you want to talk to your kids about that kind of stuff, it's a good book to start on. Like, here, look at this. This makes a good point, which is I like having having clean stuff. So, and if I want to clean stuff, I got to clean it. Get the job done. Go out today and get your job done. I'm not getting my job done. I'm literally not getting my job done right now. I should be doing it. But hey, I did a lot of work. I started work early today, so I get to do this. So that's it. That's the Berenstain Bears Get the Job Done. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Phil Gonzalez. I am Phil Gonzalez, and I've been doing this show for a long time now. Next year, it'll be 10 years. Can you believe it? I've been talking about the Berenstain Bears for 10 years. Can you believe it? Not yet. It's not yet. Next spring. So if I'm still alive, join me for the big 10-year celebration, I guess I'll be doing at some point. If you have ideas for what I should do for a 10-year celebration, let me know now. You may think, but Phil, it's so soon. Like, it's not even for like almost another year. And I'll say, yeah, but I procrastinate. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. How do you celebrate 10 years stuff? I'm starting to think now. Getting it through my thick head. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of this weird, wild adventure of mine. Listen to my other podcasts if you want. Go to my YouTube channel. It's Phil. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you found it. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time deep in Bear Country.